Welcome to the Clint Initiative podcast. It's another Thursday, and we're here live broadcasting from Minneapolis, Minnesota. Hello, and welcome to the Clint Initiative podcast. What is the Clint Initiative? The Clint Initiative is a multi-phase project to create entertainment here in Minnesota and to distribute that entertainment to the world, starting with this podcast. This podcast is the seed from which everything else will grow. The Clint Initiative is about great music. The Clint Initiative is about great live entertainment. The Clint Initiative is about a sketch show. The Clint Initiative is all about filmed content. If you want to know how to do a podcast, listen to the Clint Initiative. If you want to know how to do an album, how to find musicians, how to get it recorded, listen to the Clint Initiative. If you want to know how to create more content over a short period of time, you're listening to the Clint Initiative, and we will help you get there. If you are ready to create, if you're ready to talk about creating, if you're ready to be about it and get it done, we want to talk to you. This is the Clint Initiative. My name is Paul, and my co-hosts are Katie, Clint, and Jamel. We are the Clint Initiative. If you are interested in creating content, if you're interested in creating movies, music, television, films, short films, and feature films, then we want to talk to you. We want to have you on the show. Email us at TheClintPodcast@gmail.com. We look forward to hearing from you. And now, back to the show. Hello, team. And what are we doing? We're throwing it at the wall. We are throwing it at the wall. We're throwing it at the wall. We are throwing it at the wall. We're throwing it at the wall. We are throwing it at the wall to see what's stick. Come on, what are we doing? Tirada a la ped, estamos. Tirada a la ped, tirada a la ped, estamos. Tirada a la ped, tirada a la ped, estamos. Tirada a la ped, a ver que se pega. Yeah. Hello, everyone, and welcome again to the Clint Initiative podcast. I see the gang is all here, although it looks like Clint disappeared. Now, the one thing that I've discovered when singing the theme song, I've discovered that the sync between all of our different devices is off. So that's why when we sing and we try to do it together, it's out of sync. So we're going to have to try to get together so that we can do it, everything in person at some point.
Like a pre-recorded.
Say again?
Like a pre-recorded.
Oh, absolutely. But everything comes in time. But right now, it's time for me to check in with our co-hosts to find out what's happening in their lives, how their week is going. And I'm going to start with you, Jamel, or Limage, as you have there. How is your week going so far?
My week has been going great so far. Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. I'm glad you're here. Hope your day is going well as also. And, just continue to stay focused, locked in, and, reach your goals.
Awesome. And what I'm going to do is now I'm going to check in with Katie. Katie, how are things going with you?
They're great. Back to normal, doing my routines. I'm excited to be here. And yeah.
That's awesome. And last, but certainly not least, we're going to go to the man, the myth, the legend. We're going to go to Clint. Clint, how is your day going, my friend?
I'm up and pumped, and I'm ready to romp.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I'm ready to romp. I'm up and pumped and I'm ready to romp.
Hey, Clint, did you use a teapot in the background? Was that a teapot? Yeah, because I heard the high pitch squealing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you still have your cup of tea, huh?
Oh, he made sure he got his cup of tea.
I'm letting my spirit free. I'm bringing good energy with my cup of tea.
Well, I got to tell you that for me, the week's been going great because on a big 75-inch TV, thank you, Jamel, I got to watch the first 2 episodes of Star Wars: The Acolyte.
Acolyte.
Yeah.
Oh,
Did you watch the
I
first
love
2
it.
episodes, Clint?
I watched the 2 episodes. I love it.
And guess what? I'm gonna wait until all of them are available on the 17th. I like the 2 episodes. I like the fact that it looks great. Everyone is acting their behinds off and really giving it everything they've got. Practical sets, practical environments, along with a lot of fantasy and elements that make Star Wars what it is. But the core thing, the story, I think this is a story where they should have dropped all the episodes at one time. It's not a week-to-week kind of show. From the first 2, my vibe is it's not a week-to-week kind of show. I think if they had put all the episodes out, we would be sitting here right now raving about it. What do you think? You're already raving about it, and you just saw the first 2 episodes.
I was hooked, but no, I am not really much of a Star Wars fan, so I'm saying like those who probably think like Star Wars is probably nerdy. If you're not a fan, you're gonna love The Acolyte. The only movie that I love in Star Wars is The Return of the Jedi. The rest kind of like, wasn't really my thing. But this, yes, when I saw the actress who's going to be playing the lead in The Acolyte, I said, okay, this is a very good actress, because I've been following her journey since she was little. And then I saw the trailer of it, and I saw Carrie Ann, what's her name? The girl on
Carrie Ann
Moss. Yeah. I said, okay, good casting and all that. And what I realized, what they give you within the episode, it's more like they kind of tease you with it. They didn't give you too much. They make you just keep wanting more and more and more and more. Now, when I watched the first 2 episodes, I was like, damn, I want more of this, It finished too quickly.
Okay, so
the fight choreography was good.
Well, let's see how the rest of the episodes look. But now we get to, and all of this before we even get to the random questions. As you guys saw in the agenda I sent you, I have 2 different random questions. I'm going to throw both of the random questions out there, and then I'll put you guys center stage, and you get to answer the one that you feel like answering. My number 1 question, we're on our 10th live show. And I think that the one thing that we can discuss now is the one thing that we can do to make our show better and to offer something more to our audience. That's one of our questions. And the other question, I have to ask this question because it's LGBTQ month.
Pride month.
Yeah, so what I wanted to ask you guys is, men who paint their nails, is it just an LGBTQ thing, or do men just paint their nails? I don't get it.
Some men do paint their nails, and it's not just for LGBTQ thing either. So
I was gonna say in the Latin culture right now it's not so much now, but it was a popular thing just for an artist. His name is Bad Bunny, and he like kind of started it, but he took it a little bit too much. He put like the acrylic nails and stuff, but people started painting their nails over there, kind of like a follow thing. But
if you and we can take it back before Bad Bunny. If you look at have like the alternatives, where they call themselves, they would paint their fingernails black. And sometimes they would paint their fingernails certain colors, and that depends on how they're feeling in their mood. That's the color they would paint their nails.
Sorry for interrupting, guys. I get cut off there. I think it's bad connection. So where are we at right now?
Right now, we're still doing a random question, and I threw 2 out there, and it seems like everyone is going with the painted nails question.
Okay.
About
what was the other question?
Nails. Huh?
What was the other question?
The other question is, what is one thing that we can do right now to make the show better?
Oh, okay.
So I'm going to come to each of you guys. Although we're in the heat of the moment, I'm going to go to each of you guys, and I'm going to let you answer one of the questions. I'm going to go to you, Clint, first, since you seem to keep dropping out. And here's your moment, man. What can we do to make the show better, or how do you think men paint their nails?
Okay. I'm going to start with what we could do to make the show better. I say we could drop everyone off the show and just put me up there. And, I'm going to, because I'm all that and a bag of chips. I'm just kidding. I love you guys. I can't do anything without you guys. You guys are great. What I think we could do, on a serious note, what I think we could do to make the show actually better is that we could start doing a lot of shorts, a lot of short clips to show our viewers what we are capable of doing, showing our talent on our range. Like we could do multiple sketches, short sketches, and we could advertise them right here on our show, which could give our show a little boost and a little more spice and put everything nice into the rice. And what I think about guys who paint their fingernails, I don't really have an opinion on it because I mind my own damn business,
Good answer. And what about you, Jamel?
Well, you already know I just pretty much answered that before Clint came back online. It just, depends on the person and what, how they feel. Some people, they paint their nails black. Some people don't paint all of their fingernails. They'll do like their thumbs or maybe like their middle finger or something like that. Or it just depends on their mood too. They'll have their nails painted. And then if for those dads that are out there that are girl dads, they'll let their daughters, experiment and paint their fingernails too.
Yeah, they do. So you have any suggestions on how we can make the show better, or I can go to Katie now?
I think Clint pretty much summed it up because we already been talking about doing that, and that's where I feel like that's going to where we'll end up, because us sitting here talking and keeping our talent inside, we have to come on, share it with the world.
We hear you, MJ. We hear you.
I had to turn the mic off so I could cough. And now, Katie.
Why you don't want to cough is the originality of the
Well, when you're live, you got to have that etiquette and mute yourself before you cough. That cough button in old radio times. But
oh my!
What can we do to make the show better? And have you painted many of a man's nails?
Let's start the show. The show, I agree also with Clint and Jay. I think that if we do the short films and we kind of include it, it will be like a little bit more entertainment for people, and they actually kind of get stuck and want to look more into the show. But as far as the nail painting, I have painted a nail before, a male nail. So. And like I said, I think it was more like a trend thing at the time. And I think that people are still doing it. Like Jay, I think it's just an expression, like a way to express.
And that's one of the things that is really interesting about doing a show like this is that when we chop it up into different segments, it really helps people to be able to consume the show, even if they don't get to watch it live. But eventually, one day we'll come in here and we will have a lot of interaction with the audience, and I'm looking forward to that. I've never really thought about painting my nails, and thankfully, my daughter never wanted to paint my nails. But, I think that Clint hit it right on the head, and I'm going to go along with him. People just need to mind their own damn business.
Pretty much,
and as far as clips on the show, we're going to go to the next part of the show. Our only sponsor. is Cycle Forward Films. And as part of Cycle Forward Films, 16 years ago, I have a lot of things that I recorded and did with Cycle Forward Films that I want to give you guys an opportunity to react to. And I also want to test out a new function here. I finally figured out how to play YouTube clips. So 16 years ago, I used to be a wedding photographer and videographer, and I would do weddings at what was called the Landon House in Frederick, Maryland. Actually, it was in Urbana, Maryland. And from doing that, I was able to become a part of he wanted to do a Civil War reality show. So because he wanted to do a Civil War reality show, he enlisted me to do it. Since I was already shooting video and taking pictures, he said, hey, can you shoot the video and take the pictures? Well, what he planned to do was have contestants come there for a week to actually, back 16 years ago, reality shows were really big. So he wanted to bring everybody there for a week, and he wanted me to put together the crew. So what I did was I put together the crew, hired people. In addition to me shooting video, I took all the pictures for the show, and we went ahead and we did a week of the show. And as you can see, we've got people checking in and watching and commenting. And so now what I'm going to do is, like I said, I'm going to try another function here, and I'm going to try sharing the screen so you guys can watch the promo for the Sabres and Roses Civil War reality show, and you can actually react as we watch it.
Because I've gone all around the country for the past 6 years looking for the right mix for this show, as you are the best of the best of the past 4 years of casting calls. Let me tell you, it's going to get worse.
I've always had an interest in Civil War. I like to listen first before I speak. Everyone seems to be very vocal at the moment.
I like the reality mixed with the
What do you
education.
guys think so far?
Things like shooting guns or pushing cannons around.
I like
think
the
that would
introduction. I
probably
think
be
everybody
helpful.
has
I'm
their
just
own
very dominant by
say.
nature. If I see a goal and I want it, I will crawl over the top of you to get it. I love the outcome. I think it is not a new thing to me. I think I would fare quite nicely.
They're all pretty weak looking to me. I'm sure that I can drink and still beat everyone in this competition physically. There's no competition, please.
I'm one of the few guys that's actually from the South. I have an ancestor that actually fought in the Civil War. He was a major. My biggest strength is my competitive nature. I don't lose. I can't lose.
So what do you guys think so far?
I like
They
that.
actually did camp out in the backyard of that state.
I'm a graduate student in New York. I come from like kind of a highly intellectual background. It takes a lot to scare me. And I'm pretty fiercely independent.
I like the creature comforts of, modern lifestyle, delivery, food, air conditioning, satellite, TV, cell phones. People want money. That's what it's all about. It's usually the cause for war.
I think I bring a lot of tune to the competition, man. If nothing else, I'll bring a little bit of entertainment. People will laugh a little bit. I'm always open to new experiences. I'm very glad to be here. And I think I got a good wit, good head on my shoulders. So
When you look at me, typically you would think that I would know anything about the Civil War. I know it's North and South. Does that count? I don't know what I would do without my crawling irons and my blood dryers and stuff.
I would have loved to have been back during that time. I figure out stuff all the time with what I have. All I had to figure out is how to keep an axe sharp. To go cut some wood, I'd been great.
Wildfire rages on, bullets don't have no name. Yeah, riders through tonight, and that these will be their fame.
Camera on, man.
Hey, it ain't over. It's just the longest ceasefire in history.
Okay. So as you can see, we did the week of shooting, and then we went out and hired an editor to actually put together that trailer. I tacked on that piece in the beginning because that's what the producer wanted. So what do you guys think of that?
Well, I've been
It was
lost
quite
looking at the
interesting.
Okay, Jamel is talking.
I just said it was quite interesting to me.
And what were you saying, Clint?
I was just lost looking at the Confederate flag, trying to figure out what was going on because I've been getting bad kind of connection over here on my end. So
Okay.
I've been seeing like a then I'm trying to figure out, it's the reality show what taking place, if it's a competition. But so far, when I look at it, the trailer, everything looks pretty good. It looks really neat, professional. I was trying. Did this air on television, a network, or something like that?
You know, that was the part about it that really. I'll give you more of that information, but I'm gonna ask Katie what she thought about it first before I give you guys the punchline. What did you think of it?
I actually like it. It was entertaining. I like how everybody had their own introduction and like why they were on the competition and everything. It definitely something I would watch.
Well, what I'm trying to do now is I'm trying to get in touch with the guy. It was at the Landon House in Urbana, Maryland, and what he did was he took that trailer, what we shot, and he went to the. Jamel, are you there?
I'm here.
Oh,
You don't even.
Did I already
What's going on with Jamel?
What's that?
Did I already ask you what you thought of the trailer?
Yes, I was the first one. I was the first one to answer.
Yeah, you have a still picture in that video, but
I'm not even seeing a picture of. I just seen Jamel's screen just keep buffering. I'm not seeing anything.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a black
for the
screen
longest.
for me.
It's just a black screen and it keeps buffering. So I was wondering what's going on.
Interesting, because
I was wondering if in your bedroom and you turn off the camera and you're doing something else in your bedroom while pretending you're talking to us.
No.
You're funny, man. So basically, what happened with
it could be the connection where I'm at too. So
basically, what happened with the show was that I came on as a producer, and as a producer, I assisted in getting all the people to film and put together the show, coordinated that entire week, set up schedules, set up everything, and it came out really good. I have hours and hours of footage from the show, and we of course posted some of it online so that people could see it. And that's one of the clips I showed you because in my storage I have the rest of the footage that I have to get out. But in order for me to really show you guys some of the stuff that we have and some of the clips, I'd have to get his permission. But so far, I sort of lost contact with him. But the kicker is the show. We went to a conference called NATPE, and we tried to get a deal. And he had several people who were interested in doing a deal for the show. And then once they did, they could either air the pilot that we shot, or they could shoot their own with their own contestants and sort of start the whole thing over. And we had somebody who was really, really interested in the show. It got to the point where they had the contracts. They were ready to sign on the dotted line. The one sticking point was Johnny Reb, the guy in the beginning, and at the end who says, it's not just over, it's just the longest ceasefire in history. And he had this look. At one point, they had Ice-T attached to the show. Ice-T was going to be one of the people involved in the show. He actually went to Baltimore to see Ice-T, and I sort of tagged along with him. And based on that, we actually had a deal. But the deal fell through for one reason. Do you know what that was?
Because of the flag?
No. That's history, man. It fell through because of Johnny Reb. He wanted to star in it, or he didn't want it to happen. If he couldn't be the star and the one that actually run the show, he didn't want to sell it.
Aww.
So all of that work all that energy and all that effort produce what I believe is a great, it's a great pilot. And but it's something that in order for me to show more than that promo, I'd have to get his permission, and hopefully I can do that so I can show you guys more. But I'm showing that to show you that the logistics of putting together a week-long shoot like that, or the logistics of putting together the shorts that we're going to start to shoot. I'm in the process of doing all of that now. What I like to do is I like to get a pad. I like to write everything out. Once I write everything out, then I put it in the computer, making adjustments as I go along and making corrections and expanding on the story, the dialogue, everything. And then I go into the final copy of it, which then I release to everybody, and it'll be a part of our Google Docs that we have, where we can all see it and we can all know when we're going to actually shoot certain things and how we're going to make it happen. But I wanted to show you guys that if we do what we're planning on doing and we get it right, we'll be able to produce the same thing. We'll be able to actually make our own films that will look great, that will sound great, and that people will be able to enjoy here on our live show. And they will also be able to enjoy it when we are actually able to present our films and the things that we do at the film festival. This is the film festival that the latest one they have. This is where we will be showing our films once we make them. And it's also where we will be showing films in the film festival that they have. But I wanted to show you guys what they're doing to advertise the Woodbury. And hey, one day our name will be listed along with all those other names, because that's where we'll be showing our film. And not only will we be showing our film there, it's a way that we will be able to raise the funds so that we can shoot even more. Okay. So did anybody have anything else to add before we go back to the show?
I do have a question. So like most of the time when a show is not air or discontinue, for example, like I started watching a series, it's called The Exorcist, and it's on Tubi or something like that, and it was so good, and then it got to the second season and there's no more. It say that it discontinued, but they're going to remake it. So most of the time when those things don't air, is it because like those issues are just not enough fun, or they just have to remake? Like, what is the purpose of trying to remake it? Is it because somebody else is trying to take over, or how does that work?
Well, contractually, everything has to be done by contract. And that's a lot of legal stuff that comes into play, especially when people are investing literally millions of dollars into putting together a production, putting together a show. And there comes a point where they have to commit to investing more money into it. And it takes for a while for them to see a return on their investment. So based on whether or not they think they will see a return or not, determines whether they're going to put more money into a project. And also there are, and you know, especially the bigger the organization is, a lot of people who are not creative actually control the creative process, and whether or not a show is made, whether a show proceeds, whether one person is the star of the show or another person. So it's just a lot of things in the background can either propel a show forward or it can just destroy it. And a lot of what you see with shows, it has to do with that. It has to do with the fact that some people want to see certain things. Some people, it's just really, there are a lot of moving parts to it. And you can never really pinpoint one answer. And a lot of times people won't give you an answer at all.
Yeah.
sort of protecting themselves. Did that answer your question?
Yes, yeah.
Anybody else have anything else?
I do not.
I'm going to
I
talk a
forgot
little
Jamal. I forgot Jamal was there. I'm not
So
even
I'm gonna
seeing you,
talk a
so I'm
little
not.
bit. I'm going to talk a little bit about how we came to be. When I first came to Minnesota, I would listen to a lot of Minnesota public radio when I was driving around. And they had an interview with J.D. Steele, who was the director of the Mill City Singers. Him and his brother, they actually have a professional choir where to be a member of the choir, all you have to do is show up. And if you show up, you can actually be a part of the choir and perform with them when they perform. You come to the rehearsals, you're a part of the choir, and then you perform. This is the part of the show where when we get people that actually respond, I will send them a link to the show. And this is the part of the show where they'll be able to talk about themselves, what they want to do as a performer. We'll get to engage them in conversation, and then they'll get to actually be a part of our Bible bracket, which is the next part of the show, and which is the part that we're going to go to next. Did you guys have any questions before we go to the Bible bracket about the origin of our enterprise and how we will integrate other people into it? I guess that's a no. Okay,
Nothing right now.
What was that, Clint?
I said I have nothing right now. Just going with the flow.
So now we're going to come to our Bible bracket for this week. Last week was an interesting week because that was the first week that we actually had some. What is a show Bible? A show Bible is a document that outlines the characters, plots, settings, and themes of a television series. Writers pitch show Bibles to network executives and production companies in the hopes that it will produce a production agreement. Well, with the Clint Initiative podcast, we do streaming content, we do movies, we do music. So, for our productions, we have a Bible, and that Bible will be previewed here on the show. Someone who did not want to pick one. And just to give you guys an idea of what's really coming up is that I've started posting a poll about our films that are in the Bible bracket. As you can see, people actually vote on them.
Oh.
So because we've had the show going on for a week, you guys may want to go ahead and vote in the poll so you can render your verdict in the poll. But over the next few weeks, I'm going to be doing a little bit of catch up and posting polls so that we can get people to actually give us feedback on what ideas interest them and what things don't. What do you guys think of that?
That's so cool.
It is cool.
I'm all for it.
And also what it does is it gives us more eyeballs on the show, because when they take a part in the poll, they want to see what the Bible bracket is all about. And that's the part of the show where we are now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pitch the ideas to you guys. We're going to discuss the ideas, and then once we discuss the ideas, what I'm going to do is have you guys use our rating system, and I'm going to have you guys tell me if it sticks, it needs work, or we can forget about it. That's our rating system, and that way people will know what we really feel about it. So the first film that I'm going to pitch to you guys is The Right Man. The Right Man is the story after being falsely accused and sent to prison. Randy is finally free. Randy, against the odds, and some say against common sense, Randy wants to be a cop. Timing is everything, and he is able to actually achieve his now dream of being a cop and being the right man to stop anyone from being falsely accused again. Now, the next story is 9/10, or AKA the wrong hands. Now, with 9/10, a woman finds an alien weapon capable of destroying universes. And when the aliens come to get it from her, she refuses to give it back because possession is 9/10 of the law. Now, in addition to the aliens wanting to get it back from her, there are other aliens who want to get it because there are two warring factions. They're so busy fighting each other, she's able to slip away and hold on to the weapon while they go after her trying to get it back. And along the way, we get to learn a lot about the aliens, we get to learn a lot about the young lady, and we get to see some interesting action scenes. So, what was that?
Sorry, I like that one. Though. But go ahead.
Okay, so
don't say it yet. Don't say it yet.
So those are our two ideas. I'm sorry. The right man. I'm going to show you guys. I'm sorry. You made me laugh there, Katie. So we've got the right man. And then in addition to the right man, we have, let me go ahead and get the video file for, oh boy. Oh, I know I got it. Yeah. 9/10, the wrong hands. Here we go. Okay. 9/10, the wrong hands. Okay. So I'm going to come to you guys one by one, and you can tell me which one you think should win the bracket this week. What do you think, Jamel?
I'll go last.
Okay. This is the discussion part of it, so if you have any questions, you can ask those as well. I'm going to go to Katie because she got my attention with that squeal. So what do you think, Katie? Which one is your flavor this week?
Okay, and the cop, I like it. I don't want to completely like throw it away, but the one that I like the most is the 9/10. Obviously, I got excited about that. That sounds like a really good action film, like, and I don't know. I'm excited for that one. Too excited.
Well, you're excited as I was when the idea came to me. It was like one of those things where you can put such a mixture of genres into that. And with the right man concept, I like the idea of someone, their redemption and their arc to being their best selves has everything to do with timing. And that's why he was put into jail. And it's consequently why he was able to become a cop. So now everything comes to a head, and in the story, oh man, when I get stories, they all come to me like the beginning, middle, and end of it comes to me all at one time.
You just can't keep it within. You got to let it out because it hurts.
Like you said, got to let it out. I already know where it's going, and
all these
it's thrilling when you get the ideas. So now that you've heard both of them, which one thrills you the most, Clint?
I would say the one that thrills me the most is the right man, because each woman needs a right man.
So you're going to the romance, huh?
The reason why I look at more of the politics side of it, because it got a lot of I see it promising also as an episode where it's going to teach a lot of people that there are a lot of people like people of color who are going to be executed for minor crime, or because of the color of their skin, they're going to be sentenced for a certain time when most of the time they're going to be innocent. I see this right man, he could be more of a tough kind of cop, kind of thing like that. He don't really go by the rules, and he will be perfect to actually set things straight and open people's eyes up that, oh yeah, there's a lot of people who've been wrongfully accused because of the system that we have here in America.
Right.
So
And it's like when
I'm
he
for right now.
shows up, when he
Mhm.
shows up on the scene, just his history alone, him showing up in uniform as a cop, it gets people's attention. You know, people who wouldn't go up to a policeman normally, they know that he's going to be on their side. And he oh, in the film, I wish I could tell you guys more, but I don't want to give too much. But he comes in to the police force at just the right time so that he can actually not only change the police force, he can change how people see the police force. And it all goes back to how the police force was actually created and being able to take that apart and then rebuild it and make it better. And for that to happen, it has to be the right place, the right time, and the right man.
Mm-hmm.
So now, Jamel, with all of that being said, what do you think, man?
You already know which one I'm gonna go for.
I
No,
can't
I
tell what you're
don't.
thinking because I can't see you to read you. So
You're a mystery inside an enigma, Jamel.
I
Which
can't
one
see
are
you
you
to
gonna
read
go
it.
I know, and it has something to do with my my MacBook right now. So I'm gonna have to restart it and get that all situated later.
Okay, so what I'm gonna do is this is the part of the show where I'm gonna go ahead and show our previous winners along with some bracket jumpers. There are some films that we're gonna put into production where in some segments of the show that we're gonna put in production that are not going to be a part of the bracket, but people are gonna get a chance to see them. And this week, I've actually included our previous winners along with a couple of bracket jumpers. So after the bracket jumpers, everybody will give us their vote of who they want to be the next featured in the bracket, and we'll go from there. So okay. So as you guys can see, every week I'm trying to make improvements on how we do the show, how we present it. And now I'm going to save Jamel for last. And I'm going to come to each one of you guys for your vote for who is the winner this week. I'm going to come to you first, Katie. Which one wins this week in the Bible bracket for you?
I'm still stuck on the other one on the on the 910. I'm still stuck on the other one on the 910. And I can't get it out of my head right now, so it's kind of hard.
So 9/10 is the one you think is the winner this week.
Yeah, I like it.
Okay, possession is 9/10 of the law, and it has taken possession of your thoughts. So now 9/10 is the winner for Katie. Clint, which one is the winner for you this week?
The right man.
Okay, we've got the right man.
That's right.
And we've got one vote for the right man and one vote
The right
for
man.
9/10. Jamel, what is your vote this week?
9/10.
9/10. Okay. Possession is 9/10 of the law. And I'm gonna go with the
You
top
guys suck. You guys suck big time, especially Jamel in the Dark. You suck.
I'm sorry.
So the winner is 9/10. I'm going to play that again. When things fall into the wrong hands, possession is 9/10 of the law.
I really like that thing you did too with the whole clip. It was so cool.
Yeah, it
With
was
the what?
entertaining.
The clips, like all the Bible brackets together and the little.
Oh, yeah. You know, people can't see it because it's a podcast. So I'm hoping that when we clip the show and we show it, that people will take a look at it. And now I think this is going to be one of the more fun moments of the show as well, because we're coming to a moment from the sketch show. And in a moment from the sketch show, it's not so much, okay, we had somebody in the audience who voted for the right man.
Thank you.
So now we have two for the right man and 3 for 9/10. So we got to get one
Come
more
on,
person from the
we need
audience.
a few more. The right man. Everybody needs the right man.
We might actually have a bracket where they both win this time, where one may be a bracket jumper, and 9/10 wins. But I like the idea for the right man as well, and I've got a lot of different ideas. But
It seems original and very promising. I could see it goes far.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
That is something that I will actually sit down and stream on Netflix.
Really?
I will sit down and stream a whole season of that on Netflix. It's very interesting. I want to see that person's journey. I want to see how he grows.
So you don't want it to be a film. You want it to be a series.
It sounds more promising as a series episode. Yeah. Because there's so much thing we could learn from that character itself, the change and everything and growth.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think there has to be a way that we can have discussions about policing, and we can have discussions about how policing affects people's lives. But, I watched clips from that show, 911, and clips from other shows, and the way they project and show the police, I just want to see it from a different point of view. And I think that we can bring more to that. But right now, we're discussing the sketch show. And the two sketches that we're going to be talking about is Nightmare Fuel and Uncomfortable. Now, the Uncomfortable sketch is one where you're in a room surrounded by people with physical conditions that when you see them, they can't help but make you feel uncomfortable. You get very uncomfortable. And then you see this one person in the corner by themselves, and you're like, hey, let me go talk to that person. I'm looking at that person, and I'll be a little bit less uncomfortable talking to that person. But then, as you have the conversation with them, that makes you even more uncomfortable because of some of the things that they're saying. So sometimes you may want to pick a person who may visibly make you uncomfortable, but they won't mentally make you just want to leave the room. And the other one is Nightmare Fuel. I first introduced the idea of Nightmare Fuel when we first premiered the show in 2023. Do you guys remember that, Jamel and Clint? Do you remember?
I'm going to see now, so I need a little recap, refresh on
Nightmare Fuel is all about the things that go bump in the night, during the day, and things that lurk in the shadows. And by the time you notice them, it's a walking terror that fuels nightmares. And we will explore all of that and give it to people. So those are two things that will be a part of our sketch show. We will have some uncomfortable moments, that will certainly give us nightmare fuel. Okay, so did you have anything to add, Jamel?
No, I don't.
I'm just looking at your picture there.
At least you got something to look at. Katie and I just seen a blank screen buffering. Black screen.
Yeah, mine's just a black screen.
Yeah, and that brings me to a part of the show that's going to be a lot more involved, and that is our music update. You know, we're actually going to get a visit from Vixen Noir, and I'm hoping by the time that we do our listening party that we'll have enough of our founders in Inner Circle where we will actually be able to bring her here so she can actually do a live performance. And that's why I want to talk more about our founders and our inner circle and the ways that people can support us in what we're doing. We got our Patreon initiative, we got our KOFI Initiative, and we got our GoFundMe Initiative. And as we start producing shorts that we will not only be showing in that theater, that'll be one of our primary ways of raising funds. We will still keep our Patreon initiative, our KOFI initiative, and the GoFundMe initiative. These are all the different ways that people can contribute to us. But in addition to contributing to us, what's another way that they can contact us to find out more about how they can support us financially? Who wants to speak up?
They could also reach us. I know you were going to call me, Jamel. I know, that's why I decided to speak up before you even call me, so you're late.
So, Clint, how else can they contact us if they want to financially support the show and be a part of what we do?
Well, they could contact us via our email at TheClintInitiative@gmail.com. That's one of the ways you can reach us out.
I'm glad I have it on the screen so people can see. It's the Clint Podcast.
The Clint Podcast.
.com.
Yes.
Okay. Guys, it has
Jamal get me a bit feisty there, so.
Say again?
I said, Jamal get me a bit feisty there, so I end up saying the wrong thing. Thank you, Jamal.
Anytime.
You know what, guys? We've just really blasted through this show. And I got to tell you, it's been fantastic. And you can hear from that music that we come to the part of the show where we get to give our final words. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the invisible man first. I'm going to go to Jamel. So Jamel, what are your final words to our audience today?
Final words for the audience today is our health solely depends on how we feel and our mood and how we think. So be happy with the beautiful things that make you you. And so that take a moment, slow down, smile, and know that when you smile, you could brighten up someone's entire day, which will also change your mood as well.
Excellent, excellent. Always good to hear those wise words from Lamaj. And now we're going to Katie. Katie, what are your final words to our viewing audience today?
Well, now I'm gonna get the Spanish out the way first. So,
absolutely.
La gente que están viendo son latinos. Gracias por estar con nosotros. Ojalá que pasaron hoy bien. Muchos besos, abrazos. And for the other English speaking, thank you for being with us today. I'm so blessed to be here in the presence of you guys. Stay humble, stay kind, show love, share, and just thank you for being here with us.
Absolutely. It's really great that people know that we're here every Thursday, broadcasting from Minneapolis, Minnesota at noon. So if you want to know how to catch up with us, you want to know where we are, now you know. And your comments can be a part of the show. So if you have any final words you want to say as the audience, go ahead and pipe up while I'm going to go to Clint. Clint, what are your final words to our viewing audience out there?
Before I say my final words to our viewers and my audience out there, I just would like to thank you guys for having us in your home. You guys are amazing. Thank you for keeping up with us. We are a bunch of four crazy people with beautiful imagination to share with you guys. And just want to say I love you guys so much. Thank you for listening. And for some of the people out there who feel like, you know, you could never fit in doing this. You're not perfect. You're not perfect in what you're doing. I just want to let you know you are perfect in being who you are. You are perfect in being yourself. Just remember, you were never meant to fit in. You were meant to stand out. So keep standing out and be yourself.
Amen. You got to stand out. You got to be yourself. And you can even be on this show. Just reach out to us, contact us at TheClintPodcast@gmail.com, and we'll put you right on. Because the next time on the Clint Initiative podcast, I'm hoping that we will have folks on the show who have responded to our queries to get people to come on. We'll have our filming and production updates. I'm hoping to have an update on the animation initiative because I am redoing all of the characters, and I'm going to show each of you what your character looks like now that I've started to revamp every character in the platform that I'm using. And I think that when I show you, you'll actually be able to hear them talk. We got poolside conversations. We want to start filming some of those as well as the other things that we will be producing. And we also have the Clint Initiative Podcast Reacts. You guys got a chance to react to the promo for the Civil War reality show this week. Next week, you'll be able to react to First Person, a web series I produced, 16 years ago for the Civil War reality show. And it's more than a decade for the First Person web series as well. So it's going to be interesting to have you guys see that and to get your reactions. And I think we've got a final word from someone in the audience. No, that's Jamel.
Jamel, disappear.
And there is.
I'm halfway there, aren't I?
That's what I meant. That's what I meant to put up. We actually do have someone who actually is acknowledging that, hey, they appreciate what we're doing, and we'll be back here again to do it next week. But for now, we're signing off from the Clint Initiative Podcast. See you guys next week.
Bye.
Peace.
Love you guys.